It's never been a better time. It's never been a better time. If you hear, it's never been a better time, family. My brothers and my sisters, it's never been a better time. Because I don't know who you was before sitting on the other side of my words, but I do know that person couldn't have done what the person sitting in front of my words now here to do without going through something to get you here. You hear me? So I'm glad to meet you. I'm happy I met you. You hear me? On this journey. So you and I both know that we ain't been the only ones. You hear me? So we all know that we ain't been the only ones, no matter how much it may have felt like it. Amongst those we came up through, those we came up from, you hear me? And so forth and so on. You hear me? And with that being said, one time for the ancestors. Oseo, peace, shalom, salam alaikum, mahalo, aloha, hotep, namaste, alafia, you hear me? Peace, and all the other good greetings. I hope everybody feeling good for no reason at all, because we shouldn't need one. In this time right now, we shouldn't need one. There's a lot of things going on. The shifts going on. Y'all see my energy up, and it is because we going through shifts after shifts, and it's needed. No matter regardless of how I be feeling, it's needed. You know, upper challenges encourage growth. You know, so it be needed. Whatever. Just like I said in the beginning, I don't know who you was before sitting on the other side of these words, before coming into the presence of Sawu. Cause I don't know who be sitting on the other side on the other side of these videos. You see, but I'm here to I'm here to do what the spirit lead me to do. You hear me, and what my ancestors lead me to do, because it's ancestor business. And the ancestors want us to know that they proud of us. I don't usually give messages like this, not because I can't. You hear me? But it's just because it's so oversaturated, you know, on YouTube and social media, you know. But the ancestors want us to know that they are very proud of us, you know. Not not the ones that was elevated, but the ones that wasn't. You see, not the ones that was elevated, the ones that wasn't. You know, they very grateful, they very appreciative, they very proud of us. You hear me? And they trying to let us know in a whole lot of ways. So they need us to pay attention. You know, they need us to pay attention. Numbers, animals, it may speak through strangers, passerbys, you know, all kind of ways. It ain't it's all kind of possibilities. So pay attention. If you know, you know. I ain't gonna explain it no more than it need to be said, because what's understood don't need to be explained. But it's a lot going on, family. It's a lot going on, you know. And this message ain't no different than any other message that I don't deliver. It don't come from easy living, you know. Early on in life, I came to the conclusion, and I say that because early on in life, I came to the conclusion that I never wanted to be in competition. But early on in life, I realized that that's what the type of world that we was in, and I ain't learned that from outside. You know, I learned that from inside the house. You know, so it's a blessing not you know not to be the firstborn and fall somewhere in between. See, I was the fifth child, you know, in my immediate household, so I got to see a lot of things before I had a chance to live through them, you know. But in a lot of earlier realizations, you know, that I had, you know, through family dynamics within the family dynamic that I came from, I realized those who judge us the harshest don't come from strangers. It comes from the very people that we know. So early on in life, I came to the conclusion that I never wanted to be in competition. You know, and later on in life, I realized that it was enough space for all of us. So that may have been the reason that I never wanted to be in competition in the first place, because in whatever I invested myself in, I was good at it, and I did a lot of things, especially during my school days. I was interested in things that, you know, people who knew me all my life, if they didn't go to school with me, didn't know I was even, interested in the type of things that I was interested in, like archery. I was on the swim team, and things like that. Just to give y'all a little peek into my closet. But yeah, you know, I was competitive against myself. So if I invested myself in something, I tried to be the best at it. I competed against myself to be the best me at whatever, I found interest in. And that was in any arena. I was a spelling bee champ, coming up through school, so forth and so on. So it's a lot of things. We'll be surprised what we don't know about, the people that we judge the harshest, even if we come up in the same household. But I learned a lot of things, and it taught me how to know my place. It taught me how to know my place. And I say that to say this: all you gotta do is know your place. It don't matter what you come from. It don't matter what you had to come through. It don't matter what you had to get through. You know, all you gotta do is know your place from from what you've been through, from what you got through, because that's what it was for. You know, the conclusion is we all come from the same thing. No matter how it show, no matter how it have showed itself in our lives through the different experiences, that we had. A wound is a wound. Pain is pain. You feel me? Yeah. You know. So this conclusion came from what I saw, just like yours. My conclusions come from the things I experienced, just like yours. And my family structure, you know, more so in my maternal dynamic, than my paternal, you know. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for that because I saw what it wasn't, and I to be able to see what it was, and through that polarity, through the dualities, through them, two different worlds at the same time, just based on parental figures, you know, I was able to find myself in that, and know my space. I want to repeat that, know my place, you know, because I know what it's like to conquer division through competition because I had to do it. I know what it's like to conquer division through favoritism because I had to do it. I know what it's like to conquer division through sibling rivalry, stimulated and seeded through those those who bring us into this reality, whether it's parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles, ain't nobody excluded. You know, we don't come here, we don't come here the way we end up. You know, somebody be responsible, somebody be accountable. You know, the the children we birth don't come here how they end up. We be responsible. You know, I can admit that today. Not only today, I've been admitting it since my appearance. We accountable. All us accountable for all us. Because it's really only one family. That's humanity. You know. But until we figure that out, we can't figure it out. So yeah, we know when we know what wasn't right before we knew what wasn't right. you know, and if we ain't allow it to get covered up, then we still know what wasn't right, and we should be doing something. If we ain't If we ain't speaking to it because we healing through it, we should be healing through it. And if you heal, I know you healing through it. Otherwise, you know, everything I say gonna trigger those who ain't even willing to heal. They won't even come across this page and stay here. You know, so I be saluting. I salute those who do. You hear me? But yeah, we're adults today, and my point is, where it ain't changed that, and all I don't spoke about, where it ain't changed that, it ain't changed that. It's never changed where it ain't never changed that. It's still going on. You see, and if you hear, just like me, that's what inspired us to be a better person than those that we came from. You know, and once again, I salute us because it's been a long journey, but yeah, here we are. You know, yeah, here we are, and it's so important because it's things that's taking place that we'll never see get that we'll never get to see again. You see, it's things that's taking place that we'll never get to see again. Planetary, you know, universally, cosmically, you know, earthly, inwardly, so forth and so on. It's things that's taking. If y'all listening, message. It's things that's taking place on a lot of levels that many of us who here now will never get to see again. You know, yeah. And what's so important about that is because how you gonna work it out if you ain't working it out? You gotta know. How you gonna work it out if you ain't working it out? These ain't for those who working it out. These for those who come across the page and had enough courage to stay to this point. How you gonna work it out if you ain't working it out? Because you're gonna need to know. How are you gonna work through? How you gonna work it through? How you gonna work through you to work it out? Do you know? And 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 in the event that I may miss somebody, have you been working it out? See, we don't want to leave nobody out. Is there anybody that come along that's wondering what I'm talking about? Because they skip. Have you been working it out? Whatever you need to work out in your life, have you been working it out? What tools are you? What tools are you applying? What information? What information that do you have to actually work from? That's applicable in your life, and just not information. Just not information that give you conversation to have with somebody else, like you know something, but ain't applying it in your life, and they ain't got enough courage to tell you that. You know what did we talk about? If I can't see it through your example, you see, is it working for you? Are you loving yourself through it? Cause you gotta love yourself through it. See the levels in this. You gotta love yourself. You gotta be able to turn within yourself to love yourself enough through all the in all the places. You know, to even come to the conclusion to 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 be honest enough to say, man, there's some things that I gotta work out. You know, it's some things that I need to work through. You know, have I been working out anything? See, it's some things that have to take place, you know, for us to even turn within and start asking ourselves these type of questions. Maybe not in the way that I'm presenting them to us now, you see, but but the same principles apply. Principles over impulses stabilize emotions. It's called poise. You see, are you loving yourself through it? And how does it feel? Rest in power, D'Angelo. How does it feel? How does it feel? Cause it's never been a better time than right now. You hear me? It's never been better time than right now. Are you ready to bet on yourself? Are you ready to gamble on yourself? Are you ready to put it all into you the way you don't put it all into those around you, to those that you deal with, to your friends, you know, to certain family members, to certain in your job, in your workplace? Are you ready to put it all into you the way you don't put it all into everybody else? I don't know who I'm talking to or who I'm talking for, but you know, it's time to get lit and stay lit. You see, it's ancestor business. You know, even what I put on is spirit led. You hear me? It's spirit led. Royalty. You know, just showing y'all what my inside look like. For those that can't see aura, I'm just my external showing you what my internal look like. Message. My external, my uniform showing you what my internal look like. My uniform showing you what my internal feel like. Message. That's why I'm here. It's bigger than me. You hear me? Are you ready to bet on yourself? Because all I got is my word and my example. All I got is my word and my example. And if I I've been more than that. I gave more than that. You see? This wisdom is priceless because the experiences that came with them. I ain't gotta tell my I ain't gotta tell my story to those that don't know it. If you listen, it'll tell you things that I don't never have to say. You know how to feel. You can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it because it's frequency. It's an energy signature for a reason. You see? Yeah. All I got is my word and my example. So I said all that to say, focus on the journey. Focus on the journey. We don't did so much work. We don't know how much. We don't even know. Man, listen. The ancestors proud of us, man. Every generation represent 100 years. Every generation represent 100 years. Every generation represent 100 years. 100 years of victory, 100 years defeat, and 100 years of unpaid spiritual debt. Which is why we here right now. Is anybody listening? See? So if you think it's been hard, and you here, you see just how hard it ain't been. And what it was, it had to be for a reason. You see? Because all debts are paid. All debts are paid. You see, it's a brand new. You hear me? All debts are paid. All spiritual debts are paid. If you did the work, if you're doing the work, all debts paid. That don't mean stop doing the work. That just means all debts paid. You know, keep doing the work, working towards what you working towards. If you figure deal me, you hear me? But all debts paid, man. Every generation represents 100 years. 100 years, and I repeat, 100 years of victory, 100 years of defeat, and 100 years of unpaid spiritual debt. So I don't care. So I don't care what creed, what color, you see what gender you is. You see what's being felt by one, being felt by all universally. You see, because we can't swipe our card in the spiritual realm. You hear me? For those that been around, you know, y'all familiar with that slogan of mine. We can't swipe no card in the spiritual realm. You hear me? So you gotta have good. You don't just want good credit on the earthly realm, you want good credit in the spiritual realm too. If you know what I mean, you hear me? But that's why we here. You know, that's why we here. And 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 for those who resonate with what I'm saying, we got a whole lot of work done. You know, we got a whole lot of work done. And and those who we being who we meant to be examples for. You see, through our example, we show them that they got a whole lot of work to do after the remembrance. You see, after the remembrance, because through our remembrance, we help waking them up. You hear me? So somebody had to do it. You know, those and just like we figured it out along the way. You know, they will too. You know, they will too. They will too. You know, it's just an honor for me to be the redemption of my bloodline. It's an honor to it's an honor to meet others that come across my channel that know that they are the redemption of my blood of their bloodline. You know, I was about to say my bloodline, but you know we is one. You know, on the highest level, it's only one blood. It all be the same. You hear me? But I'm the redemption of my bloodline. You know, and so what's so strange about that is because it's it, it's at least one in every family that be that block that the builder rejected, that be the chief cornerstone. You see, we know that the black sheep, we know that's the scapegoat, we know that many, we know that the ugly ducklings, you know, but we end up the swan, you feel me? We be the one, you know, but at least be one, you know, and so it's an honor to be the redemption of my bloodline, man, the one who came here and figured it out through the mess, you know, saw it through all the things that was swept under the rug, you know, saw it through all the family secrets. You hear me? Saw it through all the shit that they know was wrong, and, you know. But they know that children be paying attention, you know. And then some of them children, you know, it's you know it's enough source, it's enough God, it's whatever you want to call it in them that's looking through their eyes, you know, and convicting them, you know, through what they witnessing, so they can know what's wrong. So when they grow up and they can do something about it later on, like I am right now. You hear me? Can I get a witness? But I don't need one because I became my own. You hear me? The ancestors just want me to talk a little bit today. You heard? Yeah. You know, the block that the builders rejected became the chief cornerstone. So salute to the black sheep. You don't gotta go by that no more. So salute to the scapegoats. You know, you don't gotta go by that no more. You see? Salute to the ugly ducklings. You don't gotta go by that no more. You know, not because you go by that, you see, but because that was cast upon you. All debts are paid. You see, and now it's blood on hands where it's blood on hands at. You know, and blood ain't even been spilled if it ain't been spilled. You see, yeah, yeah, spiritual justice. Because something because a lot of things was done spoken over our lives. There ain't no it wasn't no blood in this. Every sacrifice don't mean a life being taken. You know, a lot of things was spoke over our lives that ain't had no business being spoke over our lives at the time that we was children. I'm just calling out what the ancestors want me to say. They're telling me to talk to it. You see, because we still talking about that block that the builders rejected. You heard? That's now the chief cornerstone. So it's a lot of us supposed to be speaking the truth, you know, to the trying to be mindful of my words because I don't want this to get struck, but to the mess, speak to the mess. Otherwise, we a part of it. for real, you know, because it's still ancestor business, you know. And I understood the contract. I understood the contract. You know, I survived as a scapegoat. If you hear just like you know, even if you don't know what you understood, if it's got you here, it's got you here for a reason. You understood. You understand it. You comprehend it right now. You see, you survived as the scapegoat. You survived as the black sheep. You know, that was just that was just the role. You ain't give it to yourself, so you don't gotta own it no more. You don't gotta claim it no more. That was the purpose of me bringing it up. You see, yeah. Claim, claim your spiritual authority. C- claim. The tongue try to get tired. Claim your spiritual and hidden assets with divine authority. Let me rephrase that. Claim your spiritual and hidden assets with divine authority. Cause we don't know all the gifts we got. We're not aware of all our gifts. And if you think you're aware of all your gifts, then you can limit yourself. You know, I got many, but I'm still open for some other things to come online. You feel me? I think outside the box. I wanted to, you know, I would like to be just, just, just moving through flotation, just moving through levitation. You know, yeah. But we got a whole lot of work to do to get to that level, and not really, you know, and not really, but yeah, claim your spiritual and hidden assets with divine authority. If not you, who? If not you, who? Because that's the choice that I had to make. See, that's the choice I had to make. I can't give my last name a new meaning. I can't give my last name, I repeat, a new meaning, man. And I did that. Yeah. That's what the ancestors saying. I'm so proud of you. They telling us that do Drake coming through right now. I'm so proud of you. They want us to know that. See, they want us to know what I'm saying. They want us to know that. Yeah. Give your last name a new meaning, cause everything ain't been good. You see, I could just tell the truth. That's why I started in the beginning. My message didn't come from easy living. Y'all have no idea what I have survived unless you have an idea what I have survived. Unless you know me personally, you have no idea what I have survived. You see, but I don't have nothing to hide. You hear me? Yeah. Give your last name a new meaning. Give your last name a higher meaning. That's what legacy is. You see, that's what this shadow work about. That's what this healing about. That's what this inner development about. That's what this discipline about. That's what this wisdom about. That's what this conversation about. See, everybody couldn't take on the weight. Everybody can't take on the weight of the entire family. You see, everybody can't take on the weight of the entire family. Karma, that is. Everybody can't take on the entire weight of the family karma and not be crushed by it. So if you here, I salute you. Cause it's what I came to do. I know what I came to do before I chose to be here. That's why I'm complaining about my journey. How you doing, Sawu? No complaints. that's my everyday line. How you doing, Sawu? How you doing, Mr. Sawu? No complaints. I don't have no complaints, cause I understand the meaning. See, I know my place. If you here by now, I hope you know your place. You heard? And if you haven't by now, you know what to do. You know what to do. You hear me? You know what to do. Yeah, man. Feel good for no reason at all, man. Hit that like, drop a comment if you got it, drop a question if you got it. You know, I it was different, but it wasn't. You know, um, Salute to the new subscribers. I appreciate y'all. And all that good stuff, man. And all that good stuff. Until we do it again, I'm known as Sawu. Be you how you be you. Love, family.